Howdy everyone, Pete Daddy here. It's team of the group stage time and we've been given another player to grind for. This one is absolute fire. It's team of the tournament, Kingsley Coman, and he is worthy of the Whopper button and he's got bagels.
Tell the crew to push the Whopper button. We got bagels. Whoa!
And this Kingsley Coman can be brought into your club by completing 5 objectives. I'm going to go over these, share with you the best way, the fastest way to complete them. I'm going to let you know the best players to use as that you can bring this Coman into your team the easiest way possible. But before we begin, if you're new here, please make sure to subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. So the first objective is called Allrounder, and it says assist and score in the same match using Bundesliga players in the live FUT Friendly Managerial Masterpiece. And for those of you who have been with me for a while that have been doing these player objectives, most of them have been in Managerial Masterpiece, and what that means is we'll have a squad restriction. You can only take a 77 rated squad into there. So if you want to take someone like Lewandowski, then you're going to have to make sacrifices elsewhere in the team. I've got a team put together. I'll share with you the best players that I think will help you to go along the way and also meet that rating restriction. But this first one should be fairly simple. You should really get it done in the first match. If you score 1 goal and just say, you know, these aren't the players I'm going to use, but well-known Bundesliga players, say I pass from Royce to Lewandowski, and that's a goal. That's an assist with a Bundesliga player and a goal with a Bundesliga player, so that would take care of it. Again, I'm not recommending using those players, just wanted to use well-known Bundesliga players. So that one should be fairly straightforward, and you get a gold pack for doing that one. So this is one I'd recommend doing even if you don't want to go through the whole grind. You can just get a free gold pack. Plus, you could do this next one in one match. Assist 8 goals with crosses in the live FUT Friendly Managerial Masterpiece with at least 8 Bundesliga players in your starting squad. So to do this one, you can message your opponent before the match and say, hey, can I get 8 crosses and I'll give you the win. And then as long as one of your crosses is from a Bundesliga player to another Bundesliga player, you will complete both of these at the same time. And that also may not be a bad idea even if you're looking to grind through this whole Coman, because sometimes it can be a pain to get crosses. I know sometimes when we've had these objectives, I'll just start hoofing in crosses and I'll end up, you know, I'll be up 2 goals and then I'll end up conceding 2 goals because all my chances I'm just trying to hoof in crosses. Now, one thing to point out is that corners do not count as crosses. So if you send in a direct corner and score, that does not count as a cross. So you've just got to try to do crosses. One thing that's really works really well is low driven crosses. And to do that, you hold in the RB or R1 button while you hit the cross, power that up pretty good. Now, it's not quite as OP as it was earlier in the year, but it works really well. It's also a nice thing to do if someone is giving you some goals, if you're like trading goals back and forth. And one thing I want to point out, one thing that works really well, I see some people struggle with this even when you're like trading back and forth. When you have that opening kickoff, you know, and say your opponent is giving you these goals and they're like kind of trying to bring everyone forward, when you're running down the wing, make sure you point at your striker and hit this LB or L1 button. That will direct your striker to also make a run. Sometimes what happens is someone will run up the wing, but no one else is running with them. So you've got your opponent's defenders, you know, letting you score, but your guys, your striker, your other winger is not running with you. So you've just got one winger running up and you're just kind of sitting there running, waiting for someone to make a run. But if while you're making your run, if you point to the midfield with your L stick, point to the midfield, hit the LB, that will trigger your striker to make a run. So then he will be running with you. Then you've got that easy just cross in on net. Hopefully your opponent has moved their keeper out of the way, and then that just gives you the goal. So that's one way to do it, is just message your opponent, trade these goals out, and just be done with it. There's no game conditions, so you can do this all in one game, and you can complete these 2 in one game, get you a gold pack and a 75 plus rated rare player for just one game of grind. So that's something that can be done. If you're really trying to do this, because you know you've got to get 8, so then you might just have to, again, there's no game conditions, or you know, you don't have to do this in 8 separate matches, which is nice. But so say if you're up 2 or 3 goals, just start hoofing in crosses, hope for the best. There's no real OP way if someone's not giving it to you. You know, you can score them. It's just there's no like guaranteed way. Sometimes you seems like you have just the perfect header and they'll head it over the bar or head it wide or something like that. So just keep at it and you will get them. It's the most frustrating one of all for sure. The next one is consistent assistance, and this is assist in 15 separate matches, and this is where we get the grind. So if you're wanting to bring Coman into your team, you've got to play at least 15 matches. So the only way to speed that up is to try to go up on your opponent quick, try to get rage quits. I've talked about this a lot. People don't like to rage quit in the FUT Friendlies. It seems like now that we have so many that people are maybe rage quitting a little bit more. I understand it. I rarely ever rage quit, but maybe we need to all do better about that. If we're down 2 goals, maybe we just need to leave, try again. I don't know, but it seems like if we could just make this a little bit quicker, because this is where the grind is. You've got to assist in 15 separate matches, so that's a good bit of a grind. And just a little bit on timing, if you see there, we've got 6 days, 22 hours, so basically a week. Next Friday at 6 p.m. content time, this will be done and gone. The next one is flashy finesse. Score 8 finesse goals using players with minimum 4-star skill moves in the live FUT Friendly Managerial Masterpiece. Now, one thing I do want to point out, this one again does not have a game condition, so you could certainly do this one in one match as well as these, but then you're talking about trading 16 goals back and forth, so that's one reason I didn't say that you maybe could do all 8 of those, or all 3 of those at once. Maybe you can, but this one, what I do mainly want to point out is that it's minimum 4-star skill moves, not Bundesliga. So you could bring a sub, you bring on the bench that's, like, I'm going to have Alex Teixeira on my bench. He's one of my favorite super subs. He's 4-star skill move, so if he scores a finesse goal, that counts. So I just want to point it out. This is not Bundesliga players you have to score with. Just have to have the 8 Bundesliga players in your starting squad. And same thing I want to point it out with this one. Assist, this one is with Bundesliga players. These crosses are not with Bundesliga players. So some of them require you do it with Bundesliga players and some of them don't. The crossing and the finesse does not require it comes from a Bundesliga player. So you could send in the crosses with Trent Alexander-Arnold and score them, and that would still count. You could score the finesse goals with Alex Teixeira, and that would still count. But this one has to be an assist from a Bundesliga player. And then this one is the win 7 matches. So you've got to win 7 matches. So basically your hope is you win 7 out of 15. If you played 15 matches and you've only won 5 of them, then you've got to play at least 2 more to get the win condition. So the hope is you'll win at least 7 out of 15. My major frustration with this is that we've had a lot of success, and I know on the Rodrigo one, I won all 7 of my matches, so then I had to play 8 matches just, messing around. Then you're not really playing for anything, and there's no way to leave early, so it's just kind of a frustrating condition to have to go through. So I wish this was just, I'd rather this be win 12 matches or maybe win 10 matches, something like that, and then not have us where we have to play those meaningless matches that nobody wants to play. But that's what that is. Those are the objectives. Let me share with you the team I'm using. And also, let's look at that Kingsley Coman. What is the prize we are playing for? Is he worth it? Let's take a look at his stats, and then I'll share with you this team here. And so Kingsley Coman, 96 acceleration, 95 sprint speed, worst case scenario, epic super sub. Look at that agility, 90, balance, 86. Its composure is a little poor, but I still think it would be solid. Good attack positioning, solid passing, just all around really strong card. The other thing I'll point out, he's French and Bundesliga. We should be getting icon swaps soon, and if it's similar to last year, you had to make like first-owned Bundesliga teams, a first-owned French team, so this Coman could come in really handy for icon swaps time. So just keep that in mind as well, that this Coman could do a lot of good for some other objectives as well, even if you're not planning on putting them in your starting 11. And the other thing I'll say, the way the game is set up right now, it seems like Thursday is Division Rivals Day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is Weekend League. Once you're done with Weekend League, if you've played 30 matches total of those, there's really no more point of playing Rivals. Your Rivals weekly score is set, so that leaves Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to do whatever. So, if you took those 3 days, played 5 games a day, you would knock out this Coman in no time. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's one thing you could do just to bring him into your team. So let me share with you the players, and you can see up there in the top left, it says rating 77. So just keep that in mind. You cannot have any more than a 77 rating. So first off, we're going to start with Huang Ki-chan. This was one of the top cards at the beginning of the game, and I've got his once to watch version that I completed. If you need to use his gold version, it's the exact same card. But, he's got really strong pace, 94 acceleration, 93 sprint speed, solid shooting, really good agility, really good control. But one thing I do want to point out, look at his skill moves. His skill moves are only 3-star. So you don't want to be scoring all your finesse goals with Hwang Ki-chan. So I think he's still worthy of being in the team. Everyone else we have that it's going to be in scoring positions is 4-star skill moves. But just keep that in mind that he does not have 4-star skill moves. So you don't want to be trying to get all your finesse goals with him because they won't count towards that objective. But otherwise, just a really strong card. The other one up top, we're going to go with Rashika, and he does have 4-star skill moves, so his finesse goals would count. And one thing you may see, sometimes people ask, how do you tell who's going to play well in game? Look at that agility. He's got 90 agility. That's when you can kind of feel like a player's going to move well. They're going to respond well. When you have those players that are like 75 agility or, they just don't respond quick enough, and part of it is just where you never know what type of server connection you're going to get, and so we need players that even when your connection is a little poor, they're going to be responsive. So this Rashika plays really well in game. I like his acceleration and sprint speed spread. I like that. I'd rather players be able to make that quick burst into space where I can find them with a pass. So I think this Rashika will do really well. Plus, again, 4-star skill moves, so he is going to count for finesse goals. On the left, one of my favorite players, Leon Bailey. And I'll also point this out real quick while I'm thinking about it. This is the formation I will play in game, a 4-4-2 second variation. Sometimes I'll have these set up in different variations just for chem purposes, but this one will work out for it perfectly just to go in. And this is probably how I would set it up in game. I would potentially move Bellarabi up top maybe, but we'll get to that. But this Leon Bailey's a really strong card. Left-footed. I like my left-footed players to come down the left where they can kind of shoot that shot across goal. Always keep an eye open, though. People move their keepers a lot, protecting the far end of the goal. Then you can go near post easy. But this Leon Bailey, really great opening up space. Again, great agility, great balance, moves quick, is just going to respond really well. So Leon Bailey I'm recommending on the left. Bellarabi on the right. Now, I hate using an 82 rated card over here, but there's just not many better options. And the other thing I'll point out real quick too, keep in mind, is you only have to have 8 Bundesliga players. Always like to feature a full 11 of the team that you need, just so you can kind of pick and choose what you need. And also, I'm kind of a purist on that. If it's a Bundesliga challenge, I like to do it with all Bundesliga players. When we've had the championship objectives, I like to do that with all championship players. You don't have to. It's something silly that I like to do, but Bellarabi is just the best option out on the right. Very solid option, but again, I hated using an 82. There just wasn't a better option that would fit the team, so we're going with Bellarabi. In the middle of the park, one of my favorite cards this year, this Konrad Laimer. I've never really been able to get him into the team outside of the very beginning because there just doesn't have much to surround him with to make a good team. But he's got amazing pace, solid passing, solid dribbling. I think this is a card that actually moves better than that 76 agility. He just seems to move really well in the midfield. He doesn't have a lot of strength, but he has great defending, just great all-around card, amazing pace, moves really well. So I really recommend this Konrad Laimer. Alongside of him, we're going to put this Malong, and he's going to be more of like your physical guy. Look at that strength, 85 strength, and also solid defending. His movement's not going to be as great, but he's just going to be that really strong card in the middle of the park to win you the ball back. Really good pace, so we're going to be able to dominate the midfield with Malong and Laimer. At left back, I recommend this card. I need to bring him back into my team. I see you there. I've got him as a concept player. I've had him in my team multiple times this year. Alphonso Davies, just an epic left back. He's going to help you clean up so many mistakes at the back. You could also, if, say, late you need to make a push, you can move Davies up top. He's one of those cards that really fills his pace. So definitely recommend having Davies. He cleans up so much at the back, and it's a really strong card. Great for your subs bench, even for your regular team. Klosterman at center back, another epic card, 80 rated, amazing pace. He cleans up a lot of stuff at the back. I'm going to pair him up with Stark, who has solid pace, so that's going to help us with the rating as well. At right back, we're going to go with Mbabu, amazing pace for a right back. I use him on my other account. I actually run a Bundesliga team. I hardly ever play with that one. That's the one I'm trying to do objectives to glory on, but I've played with Mbabu several times in competitive division rivals matches, just this 79 rated one. plays really well in games, so highly recommend that one. And then for my keeper, I generally go with a low-rated keeper that's tall. This guy is 6'5", so even, I've said this before, even if he's a cardboard cutout, at least he takes up a little bit more cardboard than someone who's like 6'2" or 6'1". So we're going to go with Flecken as our keeper. And then I want to point out on the bench, sometimes people put these teams together and they say, Pete, this is a 78 rated squad or 79 rated squad. It won't work. Make sure, in Managerial Masterpiece, you can have 3 silver players. So on your subs bench, make sure you have 3 65 rated silvers and then have some low rated usable golds. Like I love having Iko Para. Say, for instance, if you just wanted to put you don't want to put Stark out there, you don't have Stark. Some of these cards may rise in price, so just say you put another Bundesliga center back. I don't know. Let me just see if I have anybody in my team. Let's see. Bundesliga center backs. Let's just say I put, I don't know. Let's see. Somebody that would help me make my point. Say I put Ta back there, and that may even see that just that change right there took me to 78 rating. But I'm just saying, someone that's 66 pace is probably not going to play as well. Just bring in Iko Para from a subs bench. Once you start the game, bring Opara on, and that would take care of it as well. So just something to keep in mind. You could have another, a card that's maybe not as usable as Stark out there, and bring on a sub like Opara, something like that could work. Also, it seems like some of these lower rated cards don't have the stamina, so sometimes you are needing to make a change. And one of my favorite subs of all is this 79 rated Alex Teixeira. Just an amazing card, does a lot of things, and he is 4-star skill moves. So if you're having any problems with finesse goals, you could definitely take off Huanqi Chan and bring on Teixeira. I may be looking more towards bringing on Teixeira for Rashika as Rashika gets tired. Something like that. I'll just have to see how the stamina goes, how they're feeling in game as well. But this is what I'm recommending, boys. I think this is a really solid team. Will help you get that Coman in. No problem. I do recommend them. It's a really strong card. Plus, if we're going to have to be putting together Bundesliga and French teams soon for icon swaps, will come in really handy. But anyways, this is going to wrap it up for now. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and join my Discord server. We have so much fun over there. The link is in the description, but I will see you guys soon. Bye.